With one teaser, 2 trailers on the back and the third on the way, Monster Hunter fans are eating good this summer after half a year starving for new information about the series' upcoming installment. And while we patiently await for the next footage to come out in August during the year's Gamescom event, we now have plenty of content to analyze and dissect in the meantime. Despite not everything that was shown was clearly explained and there are still many questions to be answered, we did get a more in-depth perspective to Wild's gameplay direction as well as to what we can expect in a more general sense. And what we saw was absolutely incredible. So much in fact that there are 3 aspects in particular which I believe will make Wilds the best Monster Hunter game to date. But what exactly are those features though? As of yet, pretty much everything that makes Monster Hunter such a unique and satisfying experience is there and better than ever. The game's aesthetics are more vibrant than World and with much higher graphical fidelity than Rise. The maps are more detailed, larger and change dynamically, increasing their appeal as well as enhancing the hunts themselves both visually and mechanically. The combat returned to its more grounded form from Worldborn and with additional systems that, in theory, give players more tools and ways to deal with different scenarios. Tenderize has been improved, again, in theory. The slinger is back and even more useful. The animations look fantastically well done, even the voice acting sounds great.
Why are you here?
You can't do this alone!
We need to shake them off! Follow me! Jump!
Everything that Wilds has shown us so far looks nothing short of amazing. But some of those components are more important or impactful than others. And these 3 that I'm about to discuss may not be as interesting in comparison to some I just mentioned, but they can truly revolutionize the way we play this fantastic franchise for the better and become the best iteration it can be. The first one is the monster roster. There is no shadow of a doubt that the monsters we hunt throughout our journey are one, if not the most important aspect of the series. They are the centerpiece of the gameplay, the narrative, the mythos, the progression, the appeal, the marketing. These monsters are everything. And Capcom knows that better than anyone. That's why they put so much effort and resources on their designs. And not only they succeeded on that until now, they create the best creature designs in gaming. If you're interested on that topic, check this video for more. Though that isn't to say that they are completely flawless, especially when we are talking about their roster choices. We have to admit that 5th gen did suffer a little bit on their monster selection. The sheer amount of flying wyverns present in World alone didn't do the game any favors, since despite them all being extremely well designed and anatomically diverse, still falls short in comparison to the huge array of skeletons and monster types the franchise created over the years. Though, to be fair, the 5th generation was a massive step forward on multiple fronts, so it is understandable that the devs were more limited on which monster they could put in World. After all, they were determined in adding Lagiacrus from the very beginning. It even went deep in development before it was scrapped due to technical limitations at a time. So at least we know that the final roster wasn't 100% intentional. Fortunately, things started going back to normal in Risebreak. Plus, most of the tech-related difficulties were fixed by then. Probably because of them switching to RE engine if I had to guess. So with that, on top of the 6+ years Wilds has been in development, Capcom is now ready to unleash their artistic talent into their new game. And oh boy haven't they been cooking. Only 4 monsters have been showcased so far and it's already more varied than any initial trailer to date. We got a Fanged Beast, which is not all that common, the 4th amphibian out of 200+ monsters, that being the 2nd rarest type in the series, a Sand Leviathan that is already feeding Lagiacrus' fans with copium, and a railgun with wings. Now, with the scope Wilds appears to have, I would say we should be expecting between 40 to 45 monsters on release. So just imagine the level of variation the full roster will have if the first ones we see belong to the rarest categories of the entire franchise. Not to mention that they are all brand new. The only familiar face we got at the moment is Rathalos. At this rate, 80% of Wild's monster list will be fresh out of the oven, exclusive to 6th generation. And by their design, Capcom is really trying hard to make them more unique than ever by adding alien and grotesque elements to them, which is not something we are used to in these games, so I commend them for that. The second aspect, and this might be the less appealing of the three for most of us, is the story. The narrative, to be more specific. Right off the bat, let's be honest here, we don't really care about that stuff. Having a plot helps with progression, it enhances the overall experience when it's good, but in Monster Hunter, we are not there for that in the slightest. Plus, if there's anything the devs are bad at, is making stories for the series, especially if the scope is big. 4 Ultimate is renowned for being the best on that regard, or at least one of, and it is quite good in my opinion, but personally, I think the title that surpasses all the others on that department is Try. You see, Try's narrative was very short and direct. It went something like this. There's a monster causing earthquakes. We need to find it and kill it before it destroys Moga Village. Is it this one? No. This one? No. This one? No. This one? Yes. End credits. That was it. And what made it so good was exactly that. It was short, simple, and focused. It gave us purpose, it guided us throughout the playthrough, but it didn't overstay its welcome, it was never intrusive, tedious, or annoying. And I truly believe that's where the Monster Hunter team shines when it comes to story. Small scale, straightforward, and elementary narratives. And by the looks of it, Wilds at least appears to go on that route. Right now, all the game's plot seems to be about is us escorting a little kid to a specific place or group of people. No complex or vague scenarios, no us saving the world from dangerous monsters / phenomenons, nothing of that. Just us and a small crew taking a kid home. Obviously, things will probably get more elaborate later on, but its introduction aims towards the game having a simpler narrative, which, in my opinion, was a good decision. And now, for the most impactful facet of Wilds that is going to take the game to the next level and possibly elevate it to the best of the series, immersion. I know, this one is obvious. The devs have been talking about this since December, we can see that focus on every single trailer, the website says it, the blog posts say it, we all know at this point that Monster Hunter Wilds has an extremely high amount of work put into immersion that spreads throughout every part of the game. The environments, the wildlife, the way the plot develops, the way we hunt, the way monsters interact with us, with each other, and with the world around them. The franchise was always surprisingly immersive, with a few exceptions here and there of course. But here, Capcom is really going hard on that. And so far, the efforts have been paying off because the community's response to it has been overwhelmingly positive, with dozens and dozens of content creators praising it to no end, and the same can be said about the fanbase in general. However, I think most people don't fully understand yet just how much this emphasis will affect the overall gameplay experience for the better. We have seen monsters coexist, hunt, communicate, simply living their lives in a believable way alongside many other species. That will 100% enhance our sense of disbelief and help us immerse ourselves a lot easier. Even more so, by design, that will also enhance gameplay in ways Monster Hunter could never do before. As many pointed out on the demo, everything is now highly dynamic and totally seamless. You no longer have those well-defined transitions between being on a village, go for a hunt, complete the quest, and come back. Now we can choose our target, leave the hub, travel across all locales, complete our objective and return, all without a single loading screen. In fact, you don't even need to go back to the hub. Once you finish a hunt, you can just pick another one and continue on with whatever you want to do. Our quests can be influenced in numerous ways in a dynamic and organic manner. You can be hunting a Caracabra and in a moment of weakness, a pack of small predators can just jump in and attack it. Hell, they don't even need to be small. You can drag a Doshaguma near the desert dunes and let a gang of Balahabros ambush it. Make no mistake, these are large, deadly monsters, and there are a lot of them. Where before we used to have only 3 at any given time, we now have dozens. This scene right here may be scripted, but from what we know about the game's mechanics plus the private demo, these can actually happen randomly during your playthrough. You may come face to face with a large pack and you can do nothing about it but flee. This world is dangerous, and devs want you to feel that firsthand. The creatures around you are more immersive than ever before. Each monster, big and small, has its own schedule, behavior, routine, preferred food source. They get hungry, they need to rest and sleep. They may even reproduce if this little guy is in fact an infant Puke. I know RPG sites stated that it isn't on one of their posts, but I honestly don't trust their close inspection, so I will wait until there's a definitive evidence through either the dev saying it or the game itself. Now we will have to take into account a lot more than just the monster we are facing. We need to adjust ourselves to the different kinds of weather the map currently has, the amount of wildlife present in the area, the other animals that may be lurking close by, how abundant the resources are at that moment. If there's an apex monster present, we need to know where and when it roams, where it rests, what it preys upon, if they prey at all. This is not like in World where you can go past a literal elder dragon and it just ignore you. No. If there's a hungry predator near you and they spot you, no matter the size, they will go after you and hunt you down. And most of them are a lot faster than your character, hence why sacreds are such a fundamental feature of wilds. They need to be always present so they can both allow you to traverse the multiple zones that are 2 to 3 times bigger than World, by the way, but also to give you the opportunity to escape from dangers you cannot defeat. We now live inside a true ecosystem, a biosphere of creatures that live and die without you being present, a place far more dangerous than any we have engaged with. And all these moving pieces interacting with each other dynamically will not only make the game harder in some ways, more than anything, it will make us feel like we belong to a real, breathing world. And if this is only the beginning of our journey, just imagine how much wilder it can go later on. A huge thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting the channel and the content I create. If you wanna join the ranks, you can do so for only $1 a month. The link will be in the description. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions down below, join our Discord server, engage with the community, and I hope to see you all next time.